Hey guys, it's Ryan with My Listing Club. Today we are going to talk about all things map services for My Listing websites, whether it's Google Maps or it's Mapbox. Those are the two current offerings with the My Listing theme, and that's what we'll be covering in this video today. This is one of those things that seemingly on a weekly basis, I get asked behind the scenes, help with configuring it, especially on the Google Map side. There's a link that My Listing will provide you, but once you follow that link, it's confusing and it's a daunting task. You look at it, there's so much information, and it's hard to know where to go. So what I've done is I've gone through the process multiple times. What I've done is I've documented the least number of steps that you need to take in order to set up your APIs and secure them and get them working on your site so you can go on about your day and running your business, okay? This is specifically the Google Maps stuff. As you will see in the video, Mapbox is just dead simple to set up, okay? Again, so when the guide will be, you can find the guide under Menu, MyListing Resources, Guides, and it'll be the latest one published here, okay? So if I click into that, this is the guide I'll be working from, just in case I get hung up on a particular step and need to reference it. I want to quickly point out this section, Google Maps versus Mapbox. A lot of people say that they got to use Google Maps. They think it's the de facto just because it's Google, and Google Maps is more well known than Mapbox. However, I will point out, as you can see here on my screen, brands like Facebook, Pinterest, and others are powered by Mapbox. It is not a lightweight. It is a heavyweight boxer, if you will, in the map services arena. I personally use Mapbox for all of my projects. I use them for every client project I do, unless they specifically tell me otherwise. So far, there's never been a need to use Google Maps for any projects I've ever been a part of. There are some clients under a club care plan that I do see using Google Maps and seems to work well for them. I don't see why it wouldn't. It's just a personal preference of mine to use Mapbox given the simplicity of the whole thing. And the fact that there's not a feature that's missing from it that we've ever found. So it's your personal preference there. You do what you want. I'm just providing the information for you to make an informed decision on that. Okay. The last thing I want to touch on this is whichever you decide to use, be sure that you understand the billing. Chances are, unless you have a MyListing website that is crazy popular, crazy busy, is using crazy amounts of API calls, you should never see a single cent charged to you. If you ever do, that means that you are killing it. You're doing an amazing job. It's the cost of doing business, so your directory's doing amazing, but you've got a small charge for your map services. I think, it's a great thing. It's what we all strive for, right? But yeah, that's the last thing I'm going to say on that. Just be sure to read this section and then do your own due diligence as far as the billing and understanding how that works. The quotas on the Google Maps side that you can set and why you might not want to set that. How it's dead simple to look at your dashboards and see the billing usage, that sort of thing. Just get really familiar with that piece, okay? All right, so I'm going to go ahead and move this guide to another screen so I can reference it, and we're going to start here with Mapbox. Okay, so what we have here is the MyListing Club Sandbox site. It is a MyListing website, obviously. If we click on the Explore page, we see here that all of the maps are broken, and if we were to inspect the page, we see all kinds of errors going on here on the right-hand side. That's just because we don't have maps set up yet. Okay, nothing to worry about. We will fix that. If you also look at one of the listings, you'll see maps broken there. And if we were to look at the submit form, the maps will be broken there. As reoccurring theme here, maps are broken everywhere. We are going to fix that. Okay. Looking at the dashboard here in the back end of the website, if we go to Theme Tools and Map Services, we see here that Google Maps is selected by default. I've configured a couple things here, like this autocomplete returns for and returns in based on the United States, which is where I'm at. Other than that, I've done nothing else. Everything is the default settings. Okay, so we're going to toggle this over to Mapbox, and then we will come back here. Jumping over to this other tab, I've got a Mapbox account. This is a brand new account. I've done nothing else with it other than sign up. Okay, so we are going to run through the access token setup. Okay, so you're just going to click this create a token button here. Just give it a name, whatever you want to use there. I'm going to use MLC Sandbox. And then we scroll down here to the URL. We're just going to type in our URL of our website. And click Add URL. And then click the Create Token button. And that is it, folks. It is that simple on Mapbox. From there, we just click this little clipboard icon to copy our access token. We jump back into the MyListing dashboard, and again, make sure Mapbox is selected, and we just drop that in. For the language, you can just leave that as the default. Let the browser do the heavy lifting on the language, or you can set it if you know for sure that you're in one region of the world and that's all you're ever going to have. You can set it to a specific language, and then configure these autocomplete settings to your liking. And we're going to click Save Changes. Looking back at our Explore page, if we just refresh it, we see just like that how easy it is. Mapbox is working. It's resolving addresses, it's populating the map, the errors have gone away, all that good stuff. If I refresh the listing, same deal. We are good to go there, okay? But, we don't necessarily like the look of this map. So let's do something about it. Let's maybe like darken it up, put some little dark mode on there, whatever. You can do whatever you want there. So let's go back to our Mapbox account. Under your user account up there in the top right, let's click on Studio. I'm going to just delete this one. I'll just create another one. So I was tinkering around with this before the video. So just we'll create a new style. Just click the new style button. And you can start with a pre-made template and edit it from there, which is what I recommend. You can also start with a blank template, which I don't recommend because there are so many aspects to a map that to build it back up, it takes a long time. So for this video, we're just going to select monochrome, and we're going to select dark. And we're going to click on this Customize Monochrome button. All right, and that's all we are going to do to this for the purposes of this video. So at the top right hand menu here, we're going to click Share. And we're going to jump down here. We're going to go over by the style URL. We're going to click that clipboard icon to copy our style. We're going to jump back into our MyListing dashboard, scroll down to the bottom, click on the Add Custom Skin button. We're going to label it. Again, we're going to do MLC Sandbox. Put whatever you want in there for the label, just so you can identify your map. And we're just going to paste in our URL there and click Save Settings. Now, if we jump back over to the Explore page and refresh that, we see that it doesn't take. And we'll see, if we refresh here, we see that it doesn't take there. A lot of times I'll get asked, I added my map style, but it's not doing anything. And that's because you have to set these elements to use that skin. So if we jump back over into the dashboard, if we edit a listing type that you want to apply the map skin to, and we go to fields and we locate the location field which is right here, this address field, and hit the map skin drop down, and we're going to choose MLC Sandbox, which is what we label the map as, the map style as. While we're in here, we're also going to jump over to the preview card section and then quick view, and we're going to set our map skin there as well. And click update. So now let's go refresh our single listing. And that is, okay, so the next thing we need to do is, that's interesting. That should have done it. So let me make sure it's not caching. All right, let's try another thing here. Let's go to, so let's do the Explore page. So if we go to our dashboard and we go to Pages, we're going to edit our Explore page. Let's assign that map style here. So edit the Explore page. Edit the Explore Listings widget. And down here, we're going to choose under map skin, we're going to choose MLC Sandbox. And as you see, just like that, we've got our dark mode map set. Refreshing our Explore page from the front end, there we go. We've got our map. Okay. Not sure why this didn't take here. Let's see. So let me make sure. So field. Oh, I know what it is. Single page, content and tabs. So what this one, yeah, I totally brain farted that. So this fields, that's what they will see when they go to fill in their form. They're going to see the map style on the form. So we got to go to single page, content and tabs. And then let's see where I have this. You just locate the tab in the block where you have that. So here's our location block. And we set that there as well. Okay. And we will update our listing. And refresh. There we go. Okay. Cool. So aside from that little brain fart I had, you'll see how easy it is to set up Mapbox. Super simple. All right. So now we will move on to the granddaddy, the more complicated one. Okay. Okay. So for that, I'm just go ahead and I'm going to close this Mapbox one down. So here I'm already, this is if you were to follow the link that MyListing provides, and after a couple clicks, you get into basically where your projects are listed. Okay, and that's where I want you to get. And I walk you through it in the guide, but assuming you got here, we are in the project section, and we are just going to continue on from here. Okay, so we're going to click the Create a Project button, and I'll just continue on here. MLC Sandbox. Click the Create button, and you see that project here on the right is creating. And we're just going to select that project. Okay, so now we need to add some APIs. So we're just going to jump over to, let's go. I'm actually going at this a little bit different than the guide. So we just got to, so we're just going to fiddle fart around here on our dashboard. So here we see getting started, explore and enable API. So let's just click on that. Basically, we just need to get back to the API dashboard. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of taking us in a roundabout, weird sort of way. Not sure why it's doing that. Yeah, you can see why I absolutely cannot stand this Google Maps. All right, let's go to the library here. All right, there we go. That'll work. Okay, so sorry for the brain fart again there. Basically, you just got to get to the API. It's all in the guide. I'm just messing this up a little bit, but you'll see it in the guide. It's pretty easy to get to. Okay, so following along with the guide, First one we want to look at is the Places API. So we're just going to click on this Places API card, and we are going to enable it. Okay, the next API we want to enable is the geocoding API. So that's, you can find that right down here, geocoding API. Keep in mind too that like it took me a couple run throughs to get this really nailed down to the minimum number of steps. So this looks easy now, but if you're doing this on your own, I mean, I feel your pain. It's frustrating. All right, so we selected that. We clicked the enable button for this one. And then the last one we'll do is the Maps JavaScript API, which is on this, yeah, right here. So Maps JavaScript API. So that's, click that link, click the enable button. Cool. So now we essentially have our APIs ready to go. We now want to hover over this icon, these icons in the left-hand menu. So it breaks this out, and we want to choose the credentials option. And then at the top here, we want to click Create Credentials, and we want to choose API Key. So now we have our API key. I'm going to go a little bit backwards here because I'm going to go ahead and just paste it back into our website rather than save it on my machine. So I'm just going to copy here from the clipboard. I'm going to jump back over to the MyListing dashboard, switch over to Google Maps, and just drop in that API key. Okay, put that there for now. So I'm going to go back to the Google Maps platform dashboard, and I'm going to click this Restrict Key button. I'm going to name this, again, just for the purpose of this video, the same thing, MLC Sandbox. I'm going to switch the application restrictions to HTTP for websites. I'm going to click this Add an Item link, and I'm going to put in my URL again. Or, sorry, my domain name. Okay, so we put in our domain name just like that and click Done. And we click Save to save our changes. Okay, that's all there is to it. Again, greatly simplified because I've gone through the pain over and I've done this over and over again to simplify it for everyone. So we've created the 3 API keys. We've locked down the refers to only be usable from your website. Okay, and I'm going to jump back over here into the MyListing dashboard, WordPress dashboard. And again, same thing with the language, autocompletes. Up to you how you want to set that. I'm going to click Save Changes here. Let's go back to our Explorer page and refresh. Okay, so there we see if we inspect the page, our maps are working without any errors. Yeah, everything looks great. So the thing we notice here is that our map style is gone. We refresh our listing. We see that it's working. It's great, but our styles are gone. So let's go through the process, kind of like what we did with, or just like we did with Mapbox, but we're going to create a map style using Google Maps. Okay. So for that, we go to the Google Maps styling wizard. I'm just going to copy the link from the guide, paste that in here. And you want to click this no thanks, take me to the old style wizard. I played around with this this new version, the cloud-based map styling version. You may have better luck with it, and if you do, please let us know so I can, let me know so I can update the guide. But I could not find a JSON output from it, so it was kind of a dead end. You got to have that JSON output. So if you figure out anything there, let me know. But I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure it out, and I couldn't. So if we click this link right here, no thanks, take me to the old style wizard. Configure the map again, just like Mapbox, however you want it for your own website. I'm just going to choose dark here, and I'm going to choose finish. I'm going to click this copy JSON link. I'm going to jump back into my WordPress dashboard, click the Add Custom Skin button. I'm going to put MLC Sandbox. I'll put Google Maps just so we know. I'm going to paste that JSON code into that box, and I'm going to click Save Settings. I'm going to edit my Explore page again, so I'll just refresh the Explore page in Elementor. Edit that widget again by just clicking on it, bring up the side panel with Elementor. I'm going to change the map skin to MLC Sandbox GM. Boom, just like that, we've got our style back. Refresh the Explore page. There we go. And same thing, we go back into our listing type, into fields, into location, and we're going to change our, oh, got to refresh this, sorry. So refresh our listing type, go to fields, location field, set our map skin to the new map skin, go to single page, content and tabs, details, or wherever it is that you've got your map block, and set our map skin there as well. And then lastly, under the preview card, quick view, we're going to set our map skin there. Okay, let's go refresh our listing. And there we have it. All right, folks, that is all there is to it. I hope this saves you guys a ton of time and prevents a lot of, prevents you guys from having future headaches with this. It's been a video and a guide I've always been wanting to do, and I'm sorry it took me so long to get to it, but yep, hope all is well, and see you on the other side. Bye-bye.